So hey world, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to how Walker. Yeah, it says, oh, Walker, I guess. Why? Anyway, it was starting off good. How Walker Scobell became Percy Jackson, okay? I'm really into this show. It's really good. I think I saw the movies, but I don't remember, and I didn't went back and watch them. I kind of wanted to, but then for Christmas I watched like another movies, so I didn't rewatch those. And yeah, now I'm really into the show. I know people are comparing the two. And I'm always like, it's two different projects, and they want them to do stuff in the show that they did in the movies, and I'm always like, it's already been done in the movies, so why the fuck would they copy it to the show? Why would they do a show to do the same exact thing? Doesn't make sense. Just leave it as it is, and it's really good. So yeah, it doesn't need to be the same as the movies. But yeah, I was intrigued and I wanted to know more, so let's react to this one.
It's a lot of hard work.
I'm guessing
I know
it is.
It all sounds super fun, and it is super fun, but you kind of have
His
to fun
hair,
with the process.
he's just
you
luxurious,
can't just
bitch.
love the glamorous parts. Hi, I'm Walker Scobell, and this is how I became Percy Jackson,
yes.
and Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I first started reading Percy Jackson when I was in 3rd grade. I've read it 7 times since then, the first 5 books. I was obsessed with it. Because I was born in Virginia Beach Hospital. There's a giant Poseidon statue, like, near the beach. And I used to print out a picture, and I'd bring it to school to show people and tell them, like, this is proof that I'm Percy Jackson. I was filming The Adam Project, and...
Yeah, and The Adam Project. That's where I knew him from first. That's such a good movie.
An audition for Percy Jackson. My sister, she played Nancy Boba Fett. And my little brother played the teacher, Mrs. Dodds, and to get into character, he put like my mom's high heels on, and he talked in a really high-pitched voice. And so you can like see me kind of cracking up in my audition. It took like maybe like 30 or 40 takes, and I have no idea how I got it, but I don't think it really like set in until I got there, until I was filming it, until like I was on camera and people were calling me Percy.
Mental prep?
I did watch the Percy Jackson movies. When I was a kid, I loved them. I still do. I definitely think that Percy Jackson
from the movies,
is closer to the books than the movies were. I think a big part of that is Percy's age. He's 12 years old. I think it's very easy to forget. But I think it was very interesting to kind of explore the fact that they're still children.
Mr. Jackson, you will learn to control yourself. Do you understand me?
Me?
Do you understand me?
He can't help it, Mrs. Dodds. Percy's special.
Meeting Rick, I met him in my final kind of audition when they told me I got the part. I didn't know he was going to show up.
He looks so young.
I wore my Camp Half-Blood t-shirt
Look at him
that I got in
now.
3rd grade. I was freaking out. And so the second time I met him, I was a lot more calm and collected, so I could actually talk to him.
Even
He's
here,
giving me
it's
a lot
already
of
so much
tips
different
and
than the
tricks
show.
for playing Percy.
He
The
looks so
biggest
much
thing
bigger.
was just to relax. He told me that he
look
loved
at him.
how we were playing the characters and that we were doing great so far, which kind of like set me in. And this was at the beginning, so it kind of made me relax a bit more and made me kind of lock in.
Physical prep?
We did a full month of just training and...
But training for what?
Rehearsing scenes. I did a lot of underwater training and like sword fight training with the stunts team.
Really?
We practiced wires a lot. I did this scene where I'm falling. It's like an overhead shot of me falling down. The Chimera sequence when I fall off the arch in St. Louis.
Okay.
So I was on wires and I was falling down.
Yeah, they have to train on the wires.
Times. We did a bunch of wire work and sword fighting stuff.
Because I'm like, the sword fight, he supposedly on the show he didn't know how to fight because he just got there, and so he had the sword but he didn't know how to fight, so why would he have training to know how to fight but the character doesn't, you know, because he only learned, I mean he didn't even really learn, I guess. Yeah, he kind of still didn't learn, so yeah, he just grabs the not knife, I just said it, the sword, and just starts fighting without even knowing. I don't know, child. But yeah, the underwater,
I wake up
I guess.
at like 7:30.
Vai mais longe com o trio e pode ganhar
Tchau, shut up.
os milhões.
Not two in a row.
Me and my dad or mom, we drive over to set, and I get there around 8:30. I would get into my wardrobe, my clothes, and my sides would be in my trailer. So I go over my sides, see what I'm doing that day, and
Experts of the script. Why would I have captions on? I just noticed. Experts of the script pulled from one or more scenes. Excerpts. So like little phrases, right? Excerpts. I don't know if that's how you read it, but yeah, I know what it is. Okay, go, bitch.
and then I go into, I think, hair first. I'll get my hair done. If it was a day where I was gonna be wet all day, they would put this like slime in my hair to make it appear wet for the whole day,
Oh yeah.
which felt really weird, especially when they like wash it out. And normally they just make me put like 3 times more tan because I reflect light on the volume stage. And sometimes
Me.
like there's a scene
Well,
where
it's
I'm
kinda dark
like
on my
deathly
face, but-
pale, and I have like these like red it's red all over my eyes, and I look like I'm about to die. And what I find so
Mine's
funny
kinda
about
dark.
watching that scene
But
is that day they decided not to put any makeup on me other than the redness. So like the deathly pale you see, that's just my normal like complexion. And then I go out to film. We go rehearse, maybe like 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then I go to school for like 30 minutes until they set up the shot, and we just go back and forth, shooting shooting
Huh?
school. And then at the end of the day, I head to my trailer, like wash all my makeup off, take my clothes off, put new clothes on. I don't just take them off. Yeah, and then I head home and go to bed or play video games. The first day on set, we were shooting at the Met on the volume stage. I keep saying I film all these weird places, but the whole time it's on the volume stage. Just the scene where it was me and Ariane are talking. We do this bit where we both have sandwiches, and I would take his meat off his sandwich and he would take my cheese, and that took like a week of training. That was the first scene. I was definitely a bit nervous. Going back and
it
watching
took a week
so
of training
hard
for you to take
to
the
watch
the
that
meat
scene specifically. I
and
think
for
like,
him
as the
to
show
take the
goes
cheese.
on, like each episode, it kind of gets easier to watch because it's like closer to now. But that first scene, it's like impossible for me and Ariane to watch because that was our first day like ever filming together. I think the hardest stunt sequence was the Minotaur fight. Not only because it was just like I was fighting like a bull that doesn't exist. I think one of the most difficult parts was that it was like pouring rain and it was dark, so I couldn't really see what was going on, and a lot of like my notes.
Yeah, I was watching the scene and I couldn't see shit either. That was just too dark. Like
For camera,
Anyway.
or to open my eyes more, which is really hard when it's like when there's rain coming in your eyes. There was a couple different ways we shot the Minotaur sequence. One was there's this like really tall, like 7-foot guy, and he was in the full skin tight gray mocap suit holding a Minotaur head. So it was a lot less intimidating than you think it would be. So there was that when I was fighting him with like the sword, and then when I crawl onto his back, they shot that in a very interesting way. So they made a mock-up of the Minotaur, like without arms and from like the waist up. So I was on a wire and I'd sprint, and they had like a little bit of fur so I could grab onto it. I'd sprint around him, and then I'd jump, grab onto the back, and then I'd get on his head. And they did a full like sequence of me ripping the horn off and stabbing him in the head. That took like maybe 3 days to shoot. It was a long sequence. I was wearing a wool sweater while we were filming the Minotaur sequence, kind of like this, and but it was like real like sheep wool. And so when it would rain, there was a very terrible stench coming from my sweater, and it kept getting like loose because I was running around. It was pouring rain. It got heavy, and they would like constantly change that out and then dry it. And we had 2 sweaters, I think. They just rotate them, and so that took a while. Sometimes we had to pause the scene so we could let the sweater dry out. And also like Camp Athlete fight. I think that scene might have been like the hardest technically to film because we're like running in sand. There's 3 of them. There's Dior and then 2 of her cabin siblings. And so for every one move they did, I had to do 3. And so I was running backwards on like this rocky sand, doing this amazing sword fight. While we were filming that, I did not expect Dior to scream that loud.
It's a good scream.
And if you look at my face, I'm not acting. I was genuinely terrified she was going to hit me. I love Dior. She's the sweetest person ever, but she's terrifying, which I think is perfect for Clarice.
People listen closer when you talk. They work harder to be your friend.
See, he looks so small, and now he looks so big already.
I've been super connected
How long did they film the show?
Until
a century ago? What?
Found acting, and I studied Percy Jackson, and now I have like Leah and Charlie and Dior and Arian, of course. All these people that I feel like know how I'm feeling.
Lessons learned.
One of my favorite parts about Percy
there
is
pages
that,
turned,
and something that I hope you don't take away from it, is that there's a place for everyone.
Where should say lesson learned? Lesson learned. Thing you do is a step you take. Make the friendship bracelets. Take the moment and taste that you got no reason to be afraid. No, she says lesson learned. No? I don't remember, but anyway. I can't hear certain words because I just think of Taylor. And then, yeah, anyway.
Always somebody that knows what you're going through. With Percy, specifically, like how many things happen to him and how stressful his life is, he's never lost, like, confidence or hope. He's never lost his sense of humor, which I think is a really important lesson in real life.
I don't know, because, like, in the show, you kind of have, like, a purpose. So, for him to not lose, like, his humor, it's kind of easy because he has a purpose. Like, he's going to find a thief. He's going to save his mom. So, he has something to fight for, I guess. But in real life, like, I never liked that, like, there's people who know what you're going through, where you're going through, so you're not alone. But I'm like, I'm still alone. Like, okay, there's people that know what I'm going through or have been through something similar, but I'm still here alone. So me knowing that someone knows how I feel doesn't make me feel better. If anything, it makes me feel worse that someone else is going through the same thing. You know, like, I don't know. But yeah, this video was really interesting. That's why I decided to watch it, you know, to like learn more about the show and learn more about, well, not about the story, because he didn't like explain the story, but yeah, more behind the scenes. I'm always interested in that stuff. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.